Primary ignition.
I was the Wampa ice creature in The Empire Strikes Back, and you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network.
Yeah. We're getting some mileage out of that new one. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome everybody to another week of the Virtual Cantina Watch-Along. Very excited as obviously this is our last episode before we start the Acolyte. We start Acolyte next week. New content, peeps.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Monday. Oh, yeah. Hopefully they're doing their own thing on Monday. Anyways, yeah. Some of us may actually get to see it early.
Oh, yes.
That's going to be cool. Oh, yeah, that sucks. I was pleased that they put it at a few more spots around my area because the one for Ahsoka? Like, I heard about it like 15 minutes after they went live, and it was already sold out or some nonsense.
Yeah.
But
luckily, did not sell out quickly, but the closest one is 4 hours and some change.
Oh, yeah.
The one's like 5 hours from here.
It seemed like the first one to go was New York, but they only did one.
I mean, I was looking for you, Dave, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, God, Virginia is the closest one for you, or go to Knoxville.
Yeah, the McLean, Virginia, right outside of D.C. That is the closest one, but that's like still 4.5 hours. The other one, if it had been a weekend, would have been more practical because it's 2 hours from Skips, 3 hours from here. So I could have gone to Skips and then gone.
Carpooled.
But on a Monday night, that's a rough sell.
Yeah, I got to get to Hollywood on a Monday night for the El Capitan screening. The one I'll sit through some stuff in El Capitan. There was another option closer, but not really much closer. So I figured El Capitan would be a good one, and ended up being where everybody wanted to pile on. That got it on the wait list as well, or whatever on the list, as it were.
Absolutely.
But it's that thing where it's first come, first serve. So,
yep. But so anything exciting happened today,
dude? Like, hello. There's like that part 2 of the Chris Bartlett interview. Okay, Chris is looking all dapper with the like droid hand, and
that was him at one of the premieres. He was pretty slick. Yeah, he had it down. He's got his red carpet look and then some with his droid hand,
Well, I remember when he did that, I was like, Chris, I actually really like your jacket. He's like, wait, you're looking at my jacket and not my hand? I'm like, I'm used to seeing you as a droid.
Right. But that's not out of place.
Yeah. But yes, one of the things Dave was talking about today is that part 2 of Chris's interview with Skywalker Through Neverland, incredible interview, and actually told a bunch of stories that I've never heard him tell on our shows, which was great. Because a lot of times we've had guests come on before, and we get the same stories on a multitude of times, or you get different versions of the same story that they tell.
Yeah.
But it was very good. But then I was on, it was pre-recorded. I was on last week with them, and one of the major things which Skywalking Through Neverland's Instagram has like over 100 likes right now, based upon.
Oh, geez, where's you going?
That happened in the middle of the show. That happened in the middle of the show too.
Your camera is drunk.
Yes. Okay, well, can I have my ring light attached to the top of my
Oh, it's heavy, yeah.
top of it? But they are getting some good press as well because we made an announcement today of a surprise guest, Mr. Christopher Sean. So Kaz, and he's going to be joining his father, Nelson
Is
Lee.
that graphic in here?
That's fine, no problem. So you have his younger boys for the first time together.
Oh yeah, Nelson's here,
which is pretty awesome. That this is that we're able to pull this off.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool.
And thank you very much, Chris, as well, who has not only retweeted our tweet today, but also started following us.
Nice.
So that was pretty exciting. I mean, I was going to say, the most important news today was the Deadpool Wolverine. But if you want to say that, the announcement of Chris Sean, yeah, sure, Dave, that works for me.
Yeah. I tried to block out a lot of the Wolverine popcorn bucket. Just this mental block on a lot of the images there.
Yes. But I was kind of like, okay, and completely no-sold by certain people that I thought would have more comments in the peanut gallery about it. But I'm sure we'll hear more about it next week on Tuesday. But yeah, so Chris Sean is joining us, just adding to our stellar lineup.
Look, did they make figures for Resistance?
I think they made 3 3/4 figures.
I think so. Yeah, I think they're in that animation style.
But they didn't do like a Black Series or anything.
No.
Or a Funko.
They would have been 3 3/4 or that like what is it? I don't know what the scale is called, but they make the more kid-friendly versions of the figures that are about the same. They're similar size, yeah, but they have like exaggerated features and stuff.
Yes. So there are Star Wars Resistance Wave 1. Yep, there's Kaz.
Aha.
So there are figures for that.
There's another one to add to the list.
Indeed. Well, yeah. We need if we start making lists of like figures and models and stuff in general. I think Bryce is just doing Black Series, and then Spencer, you're doing Funkos, yeah?
Correct. So I just offered that. I mean, if someone wanted to offer 3 3/4, then cool.
I mean,
there's a lot, and there's different cards.
Crazy.
Same figures, different cards.
Yeah,
variations of figures, new accessories, all that kind of fun stuff. So,
but I'm very, very excited about that, and we got some still some other announcements coming up. I can tell you at least one more guest is going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con. So on Saturday afternoon of San Diego Comic-Con, we will have one more announcement for the Scum and Villainy show.
Nice.
And it's a fun one as well.
Scum and Villainy is not going to be. There's going to be no movement in that room because there's going to be so many guests. It's just going to be.
I'll be just like partying like this. It's like.
Well,
it's gonna definitely be.
It's gonna be almost like. It's bigger than the space we had. The front room is bigger than the space we had in the signing area of Biggs in 22.
I wouldn't say it's bigger. It's probably a similar size.
He's talking about just the signing area part, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of form factor to that. So.
But it's going to be exciting. And, our hope is that, you guys are going to come out in droves. And, if and when, people who are on the full trip decide that they're exhausted. And we keep on filling it up with people from the street.
Just taking in people on the street. Anybody, come on.
Yeah.
Do you like the Star Wars? We like the Star Wars. There's Star Wars inside.
I have a little stand that I acquired that will hold a sort of a poster board size piece of like foam core that we can put out on the sidewalk to attract people like that.
You like the wars?
Yeah. Not that the cantina itself won't be attracting people as it does.
Wars inside.
Yes.
You want to get all warsy?
Peter plans to close the place down. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I think that, you know, I don't know. I don't know how many people are going to last until 2 o'clock in the morning, but you know, I don't think I'm even.
Some of us are going to be there 12 hours is going to be quite the long haul.
Right. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to even make it to midnight there.
And if you turn into a pumpkin at like, 9:30.
Exactly.
If you come in for the hour preview time, which is 4 p.m., that's still 10 hours. That's quite the. Although there were, when I went on May the 4th, a handful of people I knew were there. When I got there, it was about 4 in the afternoon, and they had been there since 6 a.m. And they were not intending on leaving. And I was like, no, thank you.
Nice.
I did my hour and a half, and I was good.
Well, the funny thing is that, like, if you remember, obviously, some of us who hung out later after the not so.
No, that's true.
I mean, Dave stayed up later than you and I did. Dave showed up late, but
I was up till 5 or something that night, 4:30.
Oh yeah. Well, the WWE in the living room.
Yeah.
And the reactions to it.
Oh, FYI, all you people, is Cassiono figures 3 3/4 available on Amazon, 1062 with shipping, 2-day shipping.
Wow.
It's on its way to me right now.
Nice. That is a
Dave's
decent
like,
price.
and credit card.
Yeah.
Credit card.
Called PayPal, sir.
There you go.
That too. So very excited about that. The trip's coming around nicely. We are literally right now, I would say that we're probably in 2 months from today at this time, probably having dinner somewhere in the park. Hopefully, I'm hoping Blue Bayou.
Oh.
So we'll know for sure on Saturday.
Nothing makes work up an appetite like the smell of pirate water.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Notman last night, which, by the way, he's doing really well. A lot of personal stuff going on with him. But he's like, honestly, it's like, I'm not a huge fan of the food of Blue Bayou, but if I get a Monte Cristo sandwich while smelling the water,
it's the ambiance, really is the ambiance.
So he's like, include me no matter what.
Yeah.
In that scenario. But hope you all join us, for any of the meetups, wherever we are at Disneyland, if we're going to be at any of our places we're going for all the Bunta Eves and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But it's gonna be a great trip, and we'll talk more about the the lineups and everything in between our 4 episodes of the Clone Wars tonight. But we're also gearing up, obviously, for so much Acolyte shenanigans.
And if you guys missed it, Daughters of the Galaxy last night.
Oh yes,
crazy informative about one of the characters from the High Republic that will be appearing in the Acolyte. It's the only maybe tie-in I think we've seen directly to the High Republic. But yeah, last night's Daughters, it's the featured video on our YouTube channel. I made that happen today. So go check that out.
It was very timely that StarWars.com had dropped a whole primer on that character as well.
Yes.
And once again, as we said, we need to stop talking out loud because the mouse hears us and then they do it.
Well, I would say that was probably going to be beneficial to the show last night. I don't know if they played off of it or anything, but all I did was see the thumbnail today. I didn't watch the show, and yesterday I was preoccupied.
Yeah, the show last night was great. They're all about Vernestra Rowe and all about talking about like light whips and craziness, and it's going to be a big thing.
Nice. So you have your last piece of swag came in. Well, yeah, people are swagging up like crazy for this trip. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have swag trading every stop, dedicated tables at all of our events, as well as our annual, if you want to say, family vacation. Me at the X-Wing at 2:00. Hopefully, I'm not going to be like surprised of something that's being passed around for 3 days, and then day 3, wait a minute. Oh yeah, supposed to look at your Facebook kind of scenario.
No guarantee.
I do on my birthday every year. That picture likes to rear its head.
Oh, there's Lego Star Wars Resistance too, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
So, but yeah, so we're gonna be watching tonight. Last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, which honestly I think is some of the best Star Wars that we received since the Disney buyout.
This is some heartstring pulling stuff. Like here, animation or not, you don't care. It really is.
And
my patch came in this week as well.
Ooh.
My patch for the vacay. No spoilers. No.
One of the patches I want to say, if you're going on the actual trip, and we saw it behind the scenes in our group chat, is Matt McCullough's group chat patch is fantastic.
Oh, with the bus. Yes.
He does great stuff. He did a puzzle patch for, I think it was Anaheim 22, where basically it was the mall with different legs.
So that is the next thing I want to try, is one of those photo patches. Is I kind of simplified mine a little bit, because I went for like a 75% embroidered patch, like an embroidered patch.
Right.
So, but I want to see what kind of level of detail I can get in one of those photo patches.
Well, we'll see also if when I do our ICCC patch, what a photo patch, for that one.
Well, I've seen some of them. You've seen in the group, like I did a photo patch, or someone had done a photo patch with some artwork that I had done for Japan.
Right.
And that turned out really nice.
Absolutely. So, like I said, a lot of swag, a lot of fun stuff going on right now. So, Jeff, besides of the, having a little bit of break after the trip of not having to crank out 50,000 projects, what are you looking forward to with this trip?
Mostly just hanging out, but there'll be some fun stops on the way. So we were talking about in the happy hour about other things around Hollywood for Tuesday and other times, Sunday or whatever. Hanging out with people and showing them things around LA is probably going to be my favorite thing. But all 3 stops down here and in San Francisco are going to be very cool, just with the talent that's going to be there and the talent that continues to be announced that we thought was over.
Touche.
Anyways.
Yes, I know.
I was just at the Academy Museum the other day, so that is lower on my list than it would have been otherwise, but I did have to make sure I got in there before the Dykstra Flex little space was done. So that was pretty cool. I saw them do a demo of it seems passe now, but it was super groundbreaking at the time. And the whole idea of moving the camera around the model versus the model around the camera. Yeah. What did you find, Dave?
So we were talking about patches from artwork, and I thought somebody back up. Some artwork for some patches I designed. Somebody just sent me the prototypes is what they're getting. Oh my gracious. I can't
Uh-oh.
share because it's somebody else's, but it's,
Right.
it's artwork
But-
that I did. These are ones that we wanted enough detail that I like took them and I hand drew them.
Nice.
So there are gonna be some kick-ass patches right
On the
here.
trip?
I'm not sure if these are for the trip or if these are for Japan, but they're
Anyways.
some badass patches.
When we see them, we'll be impressed.
Yes.
So Dave, knowing what's going on and seeing the behind the scenes, Troy, that's an awesome comment, by the way. Since
Good to see you, Troy.
your first big foray with us was the first trip, but now
Bruce just said in the comments that these patches.
He confirmed.
Bruce is mentioning, and I'm trying not to mention that they're Bruce's patches, but he just spilled the beans. So Bruce's patches, these prototypes are going to be at the trip.
Nice.
Awesome. So having been involved in this trip behind the scenes, what are you looking forward to being revealed, or what's happening, or etc.?
Okay, I want to know who we're dragging into this mess that's going to be on this trip, because that's the way this goes down. The first family vacation is we got show hosts out of. We drug me into this, drug Skip into this. Who's the new person that doesn't go away
latched on to
from this?
It's going to be quite interesting. I mean, I looking at the lineup right now, I mean, I would say that a good portion of everybody that is going was on the first trip. Like,
right.
Those people signed up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was, people that we've tacked on since, from Celebrations or London or whatever. Yeah, I would have to agree with you there, is the fact that, our family has grown obviously exponentially since that trip, and
humongously.
Just to experience that, and also see what the ramifications are going to be. Like, for example, a lot of us are going to Japan.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be able to hang out together in Japan. Or we're going to go to any con, around the country, just throwing that name out there. And again, having a whole slew of people to hang out with. And then having more, but who's going to be the one that's going to have the memorable story like the intro of Skip? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's like you could not forget about Skip at that point. Once his whole sort of domino effect of things that happened to him was, told to the group, it was like, okay, Skip's been indentured here. He's part of it. He can't forget about what Skip. That's why he gets brought up all the time.
And I feel you, Peter. Exactly. Looking forward to meet the rest of the family that you haven't met yet, because, I mean, this is where I met everybody except April. Is on the last trip. Is I had never met anybody in person,
and you weren't even in like the happy hours for a very long time at that point either, were you?
No, I don't think so. I haven't been in so long, and you had just last minute. We're going to Disney World.
That was a year before, because that was 21.
My first watch along was the first Emily Swallow.
Okay. So that was into it a bit, but yeah. So that was cool that you were so keen to jump on the thing, but it was partially probably because there was nothing else going on at that time because of the pandemic. So it was like, here's something cool to do. Let's do it. Have the opportunity. Let's take it.
We blame April.
Yeah, that too.
Yes, we blame April. That's what it is. It's her fault.
Yeah, well, when in doubt.
Bruce says he has more anxiety about this trip than going to Celebration. Me too, sir.
It's gonna be fun, man.
It does have a lot of moving parts, so that's the only issue.
The thing is that what's interesting about this trip, and we had a lot of moving parts in the last one, and we did less things.
Oh yeah, I missed a lot of that though.
The last time we actually planned more and did maybe a portion of it at the last trip. We over-planned the last trip.
Mm-hmm.
This one has a lot more actual like freedom in it, if you will. Even though we have some major like components to it. But even if you think about it, this is that it's like Celebration in a way. You know, you can do what you want out of it, and you'll still probably miss something.
Oh
and
yeah,
there's no way you're going to be able to see everything or every interaction or what everybody's doing, and there'll be breakout groups, as it were, and
yeah, because some people are going to go to DCA on a travel day. Some people might pop to Universal.
Yeah, we're right by Universal in Hollywood for Scum, and so if you're staying anywhere near there, Universal's right at the top of the hill. So that could be an easy spend the half day or as much as you can in Universal and then head down to Biggs, or come in a day or two early and do some stuff at Universal or somewhere else.
Or even Con. I mean, a lot of us are going to be in San Diego.
Yeah, that's true too. If you're not doing San Diego, then you could do a few other things around LA, but I will be in San Diego for most of Saturday and most of Sunday. We were talking in the happy hour about other options, and I brought up Frank and Son Collectible Show, which is like if you ever need to physically look for a collectible of almost any sort, sports memorabilia all the way to any kind of action figure, movie poster, pop tons of pop booths there, but any kind of pop culture related item, that's a spot to go. But it's only Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, and it's like it's an old Sam's Club that is just full of booths. So it's sort of like a big con floor
flea market, but
it's very much more than just a flea market, since it's all collectibles to an extent. And if that was an option, that would be cool. But Wednesday is Anaheim and Disneyland, so we won't have that. And Saturday and Sunday, a lot of us will be in San Diego. So the following Saturday, if anybody's around and they want to take some time to drive out a little ways from the Hollywood spot, it's definitely an option, and it's very cool to check out. And it's sort of a legendary show, as it were. They've been around for at least 30 years doing this warehouse type show. Oh, nice, good. Yeah, it's not a well-known thing, but if you do know about it, it's a spot you want to go most of the time. I used to hit that.
Did you walk to Fullerton?
Fullerton.
Like, I remember being on stage in 22 and seeing Troy in the crowd and didn't see him there all day. And I'm like, now I'm wondering, did he leave at 4:00 when we started and show up at 8?
I don't think. Yeah, what is it? It's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Driving.
If you did that, don't do that.
Yeah.
don't do that. I thought it was bad enough. I walked from the convention center over to was the Hard Rock or the House of Blues?
House of Blues in Garden Walk.
Yeah, and that was I wouldn't do that again.
That is not that long of a walk, but it seems like an incredibly long walk, depending on what you've done.
Well, it did, because I remember, Jeff. I remember when after we checked into my room, that we walked, to downtown Disney, and it seemed like a forever walk.
Yeah, but if you look at it on a map, it's not that far. And considering, the way that Anaheim's parks are laid out versus like Florida, it's a lot shorter distance than any of the walking you're going to do elsewhere. So
we're at the top of the time now. We'll continue to talk about it. Let's at least start the first episode, which is episode 9 of the Clone Wars season 7.
Get your stuff queued up, past the commercial and pause it, and we will start the countdown now. And away we go. Do not skip the intros.
Never skip the intros.
Peter, so that's why you were asking me where I'm parking our rental car. I didn't know the reason behind it.
I love the retro use of logos and stuff in this, like that old Lucasfilm logo.
Started watching it.
Simple titling,
but just the green hue of the font, just like so nostalgic.
I forgot about these announcer intros that they did in Clone Wars. I haven't watched a Clone Wars episode in a while, and Tom Kane's amazing voice work.
So like we said, I'm excited about the stories we're going to tell, the things we're going to get involved in that we just don't know about yet.
Yeah, little experiences, the inside jokes that will happen. There'll be a lot of that.
The amount of TeePublic T-shirts that will come out after this trip,
like a whole laundry list, literally, of shirts.
And honestly, I really think that you never know. Even the surprises that we have, you never know who might show up because of word of mouth.
We didn't know a lot of people were going to show up to Biggs in 2022 that ended up coming in and enjoying themselves. So, you gotta be there. That's all. Otherwise, it'd just be photos.
That happened that were unexpected.
That too.
The celebrity duets and the karaoke.
Yeah. When I saw Misty like standing behind AJ with a mic, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And then all of a sudden, she busted out the duet part of that Meatloaf song. I was like, "Oh crap, that's crazy."
Sam and Lance.
Yeah, right. So it's gonna be exciting. I do know that a lot of our guests, like Misty, especially, but also Katie O'Brien, is a big karaoke head as well.
Mm-hmm.
So is Warren Prue and Mark Austin.
Warren actually is, he was like a karaoke partner to a friend of mine who just moved out of LA, but I told her she should come back for that event. But I had said something in passing, but before we even knew he was going to be part of this. She's like, "Yeah, my karaoke partner is a double for Obi-Wan." I was like, "Holy crap!" It's like, okay, go find these people on a random weeknight.
Yeah, Bunta 22 was great. Bunta 22, honestly, it changed. Here's the thing. Every time we do an event, it changes our business plan. Every single time.
It just goes sideways.
Like, we had a business plan, and we knocked out of the park for 22, and we're like, okay, we can't do this again in this sort of format.
Yeah, we have to alter.
London, we had 3 floors. Okay. We've got 3 locations, 3 separate buntas. And even the way we're going into the Biggs portion of this one is a lot smarter, but we're utilizing the space a lot better the second time.
Right. We have a much better feel for what's available to us and how we can make it work the best. So that's cool. It was a lot of just sort of guesstimation and speculation and, you know, maybe this will work or this should be okay. And, you know.
Oh, the portable high ground. Here they come. This whole first scene is like Anakin being the most Anakin ever.
Now I'm like, I got to go run out and grab my Rex helmet that's in the car.
Yeah, I bagged up. So I bought a good motorcycle helmet case.
Oh, cool.
And I have my Ahsoka Trooper in there because I'm going to get Ashley and Dee on it in Boston in 2 weeks.
Ashley Brienzo, yeah.
Yes.
She should sign that.
But you know, it's gonna be easy for me to pack up my Fett helmet, you know, to bring to Cali.
Yes.
Nice. 4 Fets.
4 Fets.
Yeah, Daniel or somebody posted a 4 Fets photo that included Jeremy Bullock recently. But...
Oh, I know, and I don't know if you saw the comment there. It's like, oh, would have loved to seen you this summer. Yeah. And he liked it.
Well, he's like all the way across the country. The weekend.
Yes, but during our trip, he's back home.
Yes,
he's half an hour from location.
Mm.
You can have a day of rest and then come to shenanigans.
Well, again, like you said, anything's possible.
Anything is still possible, and that's what frightens me in some capacities too. Because I'm like, how can we sneak this section in and figure this one out, and where can we squeeze something? And yeah,
that was such a weird reveal with Ahsoka, like as a hologram looking over her shoulder to see Anakin.
Well, remember from the trailer when you see her back, the place went completely nuts.
Right.
So
I didn't notice how much.
You're saying?
Go ahead.
No. I
was going to say I didn't notice until now how much they updated Obi-Wan's look from like the Clone Wars proper to these this season or these episodes. His hair is throwing me off.
I think one of the things I'm most looking forward to as well is because there's no idol this time, that I might actually get to eat.
Well,
because I didn't eat it big.
They have good tacos. Your tab says otherwise, but
my tab was not bad at all. Like, I was shocked how good it was. Like,
it would have been bad if you would have left it open longer.
I was totally closely
got out
and that was kind of bad. So.
But Obi-Wan, yeah, the beard is way more refined. It's less.
Yeah, he's got a slightly different, like, sort of mid-ground look. Lady Bo-Katan.
It's like, look, dude.
So they did such a great job in live action. Well, it was obviously not a practical set, but the bringing in Bo-Katan ship.
Mm-hmm. It's very true to that rendering. I wonder if there's a practical model of that ship somewhere, considering how much info we've seen on practical models in some shows recently.
Has anybody
'Cause-
read anything or seen a show about the night owls that are standing behind Bo-Katan? Like, oh, that's got to be Cosca Reeves. Oh, that's got to be Axe Woves. Oh my God, that's like making Rex as the old gnarly guy from Return of the Jedi. Like, is there any articles about that?
Like retconning them or something?
Yeah, and just bring them into there. They're not supposed to be. Like, how like we're always saying that extra seat in the Death Star around the table at in episode 4. We're like, oh, that was Krennic. Now, that could have been.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
The open chair.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
So
It
I don't
really
know.
is like-
Did you order your Oreos today, or are you gonna wait till it comes to the stores next week?
I'm gonna look for them at Target.
Yeah, I'll look for Oreos in the store. I think that the paying more for shipping than the Oreos cost is downside.
Oh, that's when we were in the chat today. There was like, yeah, for a $5 case of Oreos, it was like a $15 shipping fee. I'm like,
Yeah, nice.
I can wait till the 10th of June. Like,
The ideal scenario would be that they're still producing True Moo blue milk, and I can go grab a jug out of the cold aisle and then grab a box or two, whatever they're called, of Oreos and see what I get, and then enjoy them together.
Okay, this was my favorite. Is Bo just not so subtly in the middle of the thing, just whispers, but everybody's there. I thought she meant something to you. It's like, dude, you just outed Obi-Wan in front of the whole deal. It's like,
Yeah.
Looking at Bo right now, obviously after obviously we're hearing Katie's voice and seeing Bo-Katan live action. Looking at the animation, it's so Filoni's wife, who Bo was based off.
Modeled
well,
on.
and
Yeah.
they're really, the animation in this season 7 is getting so much detail. You talked about the Obi-Wan changes. Like you see the little wrinkle lines in his forehead when he does it. You see a more pronounced, like the freckles on Bo's face, and
yeah, the texture mapping, the lighting, all that stuff, the way that things move sort of naturally as opposed to being very stiff and weird has been improved greatly from the first season. Oh, look at that.
Now we know that they're mocapping Ahsoka and stuff in the fights. Are they mocapping James and Matt and or are there other people they're mocapping to do just the regular day-to-day what they're doing? Or
I don't think they did mocap for just regular movement.
they just did it for the fighting.
Yeah. I think they did that because they wanted that to be the most realistic element.
Very authentic. So mocapping the fight scenes, I think, is like the next level, where they probably have enough movement cycle stuff that they could, use most of that, and then, some of the movement is obviously going to be altered a little bit. But
yeah, well, there's the reveal of the 332s as we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And I love also when they did the in the flashback scenes or in the War Between Worlds in Ahsoka, they had Anakin looking at young Ahsoka in that same pose in live action, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, they did some great parallel stuff with that. Oh, there's Kiadi Mundi's saber in a box that's available at Disneyland
at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Mike's gonna be there.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's gonna be a group of us probably there on Saturday. I won't. Yeah, that's part of it. But I won't be there probably till later in the day. But I had originally made my reservation just because I wanted to get in to the park and see the Season of the Force stuff before it ends, which is like Sunday's the last day. And they added that new droid to the Batu version of the fireworks. So I wanted to see him and see what's up with that. And that kind of implies that they might keep that for a bit longer, like you were mentioning. If they're going to put that much into it, why not hold on to it for a while and they could move off the other season of the Force stuff. Although Hyperspace Mountain is amazing. So
Yes.
if you like Space Mountain, Hyperspace Mountain is just
Even
next
better.
level. And Star Tours obviously is going to be Star Tours with the new couple things, and then the rest about too. But that's the one thing I'll miss really from Season of the Force is Hyperspace Mountain.
See, I'm really looking forward to, and this isn't on this family vacation. I'm going to Disney World later this month, or in June, and there's a drone show at Disney Springs now that is like Star Wars centric. A lot of it.
So I watched the first night, but I know that
I've seen some video, but not much.
The Cattlemans with Blake went night one. They actually got seats at the summer house and sat out in the water to watch.
Wow, was that like a package thing, or was it just timing?
I think it was timing. I think they knew, and they did that because Amanda saw on TikTok the Springs. You could not walk. Even the shopping plazas, it was that packed.
Just full of people. Wow.
Worse.
That's a big place too.
Yeah. Worse than wow. Just worse than anything else. Like worse than big shopping times or anything of that nature. Just those walkways around the lake, like around if you walk back World of Disney or nearby where the trading post is. Right, that area around the lake is just like it's completely packed. We watched it, and they said that the drone show Death Star is as big as Spaceship
The
Earth.
real Death Star.
Wow. The real Death.
As big as what? I talked over you. I'm
Spaceship
sorry.
Earth. So yes,
Spaceship Earth. Holy crap! That is the real Death Star.
That is true.
That's crazy.
Oh,
I've never seen it in person, but I've seen video and photos of it, and I know it's pretty massive.
But,
considering they have a whole queue underneath it.
Now, I'm interested to figure out, when we're going back to the trip, is how many of us during that day are going to do repeat rides of Star Tours to try to see all the
I do repeat rides of Star Tours regardless.
Right.
If I can get, thankfully, the last time I went, I got a couple of scenes besides the new stuff that were some of my favorites. And really, if I get pod racing every time, I'd be happy. But I do like it when they mix it up. The Hoth stuff is fun. Kashyk's not as I don't know. And then the sequel stuff is, some of it's okay, but like so weird, like surfing waves with on the way into the Death Star that got downed on that other Endor moon or whatever it is.
I like the Exegol. I honestly enjoyed the Exegol.
That part is my least favorite.
Really, I enjoyed it.
It just makes me think of how much I don't like that scene in the movie.
Okay.
But I do. Some of it's fun, like C-3PO's whole demeanor during that scene. And going after, the fact that they reversed it. And if you watch that scene in the movie, you can actually see, one of the star speeders in there. So that kind of puts you in the movie. It's kind of cool, but.
Right.
Man, I love this. Making the holograms still look old and shot off a CRT. With scan lines and everything. It's so cool. They did such a good job with that. I got to get the hologram puck magic shot next time when I'm there this weekend. I know Mike has done it already, and I think Karine has done it already.
I'm hoping to honestly get a little bit further also into the park. That the last two times that we went, Jeff, that like the furthest we went was probably like around Indiana Jones, and then went right back to.
Oh, you mean in terms of exploring other elements and/or trying to get on the ride?
We didn't do Matterhorn the two times that we went together. I never been to Toontown at all.
Oh yeah, Well, Toontown has been. I think it might have been under construction at that point.
Well,
least
I
one of
haven't
those
been
times.
to Toontown
They were
since
both
they
there
redid
once.
it.
What was that, Dave?
I haven't been to Toontown since they redid it.
Yeah. So they, they reconfigured it a bit in terms of how the other stuff, other than like the roller coaster and Roger Rabbit were. Although they did change Roger Rabbit too, which is absurd because it was true to the movie.
Because they added Minnie and Mickey in Toontown?
So Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway, Mickey and Minnie's, is dead center. It's actually right next to Roger Rabbit. When you come into the park, or that part of the park, under the bridge into Toontown, on the right side is Roger Rabbit. Straight ahead is the entrance for
So
for
where
Runaway
Minnie and
Railway.
Mickey's houses or whatever were.
And then there's more like neighborhood, like there's a city hall next to that, and a couple spots that are like concessions or whatever. And then around past that on the other end, closer to like the entrance for the roller coaster. It used to be Gadget's Go-Go Coaster. I can't remember what they rethemed it to, but over near that area is where the houses are, and like Mickey's house and whoever else's house.
If you're so Bruce, this was absolutely the fact that it was during COVID and the fact that you almost died at that time. I mean, I remember hearing about this, through our friendship grapevine, and then seeing you in 22. I mean, I think that you were one of the people that a lot of us were the most excited to see because we didn't know we were going to see you again. And now you're coming on the trip with us 2 years later.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, and like interrupt all this. Like we've just seen some of the mocap stuff that we, right here. We will have these people that did this at Boonty Eve, because I'm fairly certain that that's got to be a scene that both ladies were that both were in, because there's got to be probably mocap for Bo in there and and Ahsoka.
I don't know if that's something that they say they did specifically, except for definitely Lauren Mary Kim doing mocap for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And I do want to plug that if you go by your GameStop, they do have the dual pack Funko from Clone Wars Season 7 of Ahsoka and Maul.
That's cool.
In fighting stances.
I just love the Maul trooper, or not trooper, but Mando's in this past scene.
The Maulorians.
The Maul Rats.
Yes.
Because there's one right there.
I'm also very excited to actually have a meal at Oga's.
Well, it's not really a place for a meal.
No, but you know what I mean. Like I enjoyed the pretzel bites last time we were there.
That's what we're gonna have again. So,
but the pastrami's thing sounds really good. I was looking through the menu.
I don't think they serve that anymore, and it was not as good as it sounded.
Okay.
It was cold, except for the bread, and it was this weird thing that you had to eat with your hands, and I don't think it lasted that long, partially because of that. The pretzel, what do they call them? Blossom bread or something they call it, because they look like flowers or something. Those have lasted because it's quality, even though they changed what you get with it. It was originally 2 different types of like dipping elements, and they got rid of one of them because people suck when they go let me rephrase that, although it's very true. Disney guests suck. And so there was some issues, I guess, with something being too horseradishy or something so they eliminated it. And it was like, that was the part I liked. Come on, what are you guys? You're asking the wrong people. You're listening to the complaints and not the I guess I should be praising it more vocally and No,
but, Bruce, you need to have a few drinks before you get on the Falcon.
Oh yeah, that's the best way. You definitely want to do Oga's and then a smuggler's run or two, and you could do one before. Then you could compare them, see what kind of points you get. But it also depends on who you're piloting with.
Just don't have Skip. Just don't have Skip pilot, because Skip will probably.
See, I need to do. I know this is the unpopular, but I've never done an engineering run. Never been the engineer.
You've never been an engineer? Wow.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but when I went when they first opened, and it was just Smugglers and no Rise had opened yet, and I didn't even realize like the reservation system for Ogas even at that point. But I did realize that reservation system for Savis, and I jumped on that, so I built the Saber my first day. Woo. But Lamont and I decided to do Smugglers over and over again, and wrote it 4 times, and we were both pilots, and both did a engineer and both did a gunner run. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever done gunner either. I think I've only ever been.
How many times have you ridden it?
5.
And you've only okay. Well, that's if you're in a big enough group, it's easy to be the pilot. I ride it as gunner and engineer all the time because I'll jump on and do it multiple times from the single rider line.
Largely because I'm riding with my family,
right?
Who couldn't care less about being the pilot.
Oh, that's true too.
My daughter, my little daughter, she's like, okay, I got the pilot seat, or I'm riding Chewy, and the other 2 are just like, I don't care.
Yeah, when you don't care one way or another to be the pilot, you shouldn't be the pilot.
Yeah.
That's what happens to me on occasion in the single rider line is I'll come into the group and then the main people will complain about it. Like, I don't want to fly. And I'll fly. You can sit back there and I'll be in the front seat.
I think there will be a lot of people who know a lot of the little hacks and Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Do they do the bounty hunter thing out there, Jeff?
Yeah, we have a whole all right, we're gonna pause for a minute.
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna jump to the next episode and pause it. Yeah, so they did that. I haven't done it yet. I just was graciously gifted a magic band, which I've only worn the one time from Mike. I think we had hit Ogas a little too hard, and Mike was a little friendly with the merch on the way out of Galaxy's Edge. But he ended up buying like a couple, and then he's like, get a magic band. And I was like, okay, twist my arm.
Yeah.
And I got one, but I haven't used it for that at all because I only had it the one day, and I kept forgetting that I had it, and I'd be like fumbling with my phone and be like, scan your damn wrist, dummy. I was like, okay.
I want to see if my East Coast band will work on the West Coast.
If it's a plus.
Plus.
I do have a plus, yes.
Yeah, bring a plus. You should be okay. You should, as long as it's attached to the app.
Yeah.
So register it in the. Whoops. Let's stop the thingy. Register it in the Disneyland app.
I do recall after Mike left at one of the trips, I think that I went to the stores. I still had his ticket attached to my phone, and when I was shopping, I was like, "Yes, my name is Mike Delatorre."
You're a fake Mike. We were talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, as long as because I'll do that, and for a long time in my app. When I open the ticket section, it would be like Mike or somebody first. So I just be like, open it up and here, scan that. And they'd be like, okay, here's your 20% off or whatever.
Yeah.
And now they've restructured it a little bit. But
there's a deal at Disney right now, which is an extra 25% if you have the code on top of however many percent off there is. I don't know if there's any Magic Band pluses in that. I haven't looked.
They do put them on sale, especially like themed ones.
Yeah.
Because like if it's specific to a date or an event, those will pop up, a month or two after, and they'll be trying to clear them out. So you're more likely to get something like that for a good deal. We actually bought them from one of the carts on the transition from Frontierland into Batuu. On the backside of Big Thunder Mountain. which, if you ask what's behind Big Thunder Mountain, the answer is not some villain's land. It is Batu. But anyways, they like to put things like it's sort of like exiting through the gift shop idea. When you're exiting Batu, put those carts just outside of Batu for you to buy your Star Wars stuff. You don't have to go all the way to Fantasyland.
I do wish that East Coast, I wish our Batu was in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. I can understand them.
Yeah, I felt overwhelmed when we went, Jeff, that there's so much.
Oh, because so much stuff going on in there? Yeah. Well, the thing about Disneyland in general is it's got like twice as many rides as the Magic Kingdom or something like that. Or 1.5 times or something. It's got a good percentage more.
Yeah.
And they're closer together. And so it's like you're looking at one ride here and one ride there and one ride behind you, and it's like what even though we have the worst freaking Tomorrowland ever. But hopefully that'll change eventually. But
so I don't want to get into politics at all. I'm not going to talk about politics stuff, but someone sent me just a tweet, which is absolutely amazing. It says, my timeline right now looks like an Ewok party after the Death Star exploded. I'm like, oh my God, that's actually funny. I'm sorry. But as we're here, we're going to be watching episode 10 in just a second as we're getting ready for Acolyte. And don't forget as well, on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'll be joined by our member, Carl Nordstrom. And Carl's been doing research for the last year on Japan and has a lot of tips and tricks that he's been studying to help with, another perspective. So come in with your questions. Very excited about this episode. And, we'll talk a lot of stuff about, what's going to, happen. With Japan, I think hotels are probably going to open up relatively shortly.
I forgot about that.
Which I did speak to somebody, our good friend Peter Young, Jeff, to confirm that we're on a list, which we are. Which is very good. Which actually I heard as well. He texted me this morning that his wife hooked up Corrine in Australia, so they're going to spend some time with her.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah, she's doing a whole big whirlwind tour.
But she's going to hang out with Peter and his wife Michelle, which is awesome. That's the thing I love. I love that, like Corrine, I met on this, her posting on the page, hey, I typically go to Disney by myself. Does anybody know anybody who likes to go? And I said, yeah, Jeff and Mike. There you go. And then I physically met Corrine for the first time in London. And then she's jumped in on the North Carolina trip last year and is jumping on all of our stuff. It's like what Dave was talking about, is that once you get indoctrinated, it's like you're there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was cool. She showed up at the LA Comic-Con meetup that was not very well organized by me, and was happy to bullshit with everybody. And then when we were getting a group photo, she was not sure if she should join in. I'm like, get in there, you're part of this now. And I think from that point on, she sort of just went with it.
Yes. And if you ever want tips for playing Pokemon Go.
Oh my God. Funny. She had 3 phones out at dinner that night. Four? That's ridiculous. Well, why don't we start the 10-second countdown for episode 2 and don't keep on going? Oh my God.
Here we go.
So, Sherry, I checked it out. There are Magic Band Pluses on sale for $34.98 on Shop Disney. But if you apply the promo code extra 25, you get another 25% on top of that. So they end up being like 26, 23, and then like $8 shipping or $9 shipping.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah. So check that out. And there's multiple styles at that price point. This is it right here.
Yeah, Ray and Lauren Mary Kim doing their thing soon. It's interesting how similar but different Ahsoka is with her double blade sort of stance to the double blades that Maul uses.
Yeah, well, I mean, she uses hers like it's two pieces, and his is.
But she was standing there with like one backwards and one or both backwards or whatever, and it looked like that whole, one piece with two blades kind of thing for a minute. And this Sam lamenting. Great monologues from Maul here. It's a very different Maul than what we are used to from like episode 1 last week.
Right. I'm also very, very nervous or excited or all the above. All of us, going to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. Like all of us
Imagine
together.
the popcorn bucket fun.
And I will be the one not there, but not coming to bail you out. Well, public indecency. No.
That part of the Walk of Fame is notorious for the people that dress in costume getting in scuffles. So if Lonnie punches a Batman for some reason, or Elmo gets his butt kicked by a group of us, that's just par for the course.
Or it could be like if you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, when Mantis sees the cosplaying Captain America, Steve.
I just don't want Paul Rubens episode. Rest in peace.
Yeah, well, there are still theaters like that around. I don't know if there's any on Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, see, his whole facial structure seems different.
It's just because the beard is down instead of
like
out,
wider or something.
Maybe.
It feels like he's got a wider jaw.
I think it looks more like his goatee part is longer or more pronounced as opposed,
Oh, like as opposed to being trimmed back or whatever.
It's a little bit more in the chin instead of it all being. Might have a bigger stash too.
Yeah. It all feels a little different. I need to go back and watch some other episodes now.
Yeah. Oh, but I saw out today I think this is true, is because the Chiati Mondays, it's 5-year anniversary of Batu tomorrow.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay, I didn't even think of that. Wow, cool.
Yeah, because that was the first time that I was there. Well, about a week after.
Yeah, we went the Tuesday after the Friday or Saturday opening, so like 5 days after.
Yeah,
it was when I went and built my first Savi saber, and maybe I'll build another saber this weekend.
See, that's the funny thing to me, is it's entirely possible that at that point 5 years ago, you and I were in Batu at the West at the exact same time and had no idea who each other were.
Yeah, I guess it's what time was your reservation?
I wasn't in Savi's then. We didn't do Savi's.
No, I mean for
like,
the
reservation
for the
to
land.
get into the land might have been the afternoon one.
Yeah, we had 8 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And we we had 8 a.m. and we were supposed to be out of the park, that part of the park, at like noon or something.
Yeah.
And we got a call back to Oga's because Lamont had run by there on the way to the restroom or something, and got on the wait list, the walk-up wait list, when it was literally you walked up and they put you on the wait list, as opposed to what it is now in the app. And we got a call, and we were in like somewhere eating lunch in downtown Disney at like 1:45, and we got a call back to Oga's, and it's like, we're not even supposed to be in that part of the park at that point, and they're trying to like, here, come to Oga's. So I was kind of bummed that we missed Oga's that time, but you know, I've hit Oga's enough, I make up for it. I would say in terms of meals, Spencer, you're probably going to want to supplement any kind of food options from Oga's with like a Ronto wrap or sort of band.
Ronto.
Even when we went for my birthday, we had lunch at Docking Bay.
Right.
We had like a mid-afternoon snack over at Ronto's, like, you know.
Yeah, or breakfast, depending on what time you get in there, because they do have the breakfast Ronto wrap, which is good. But I actually prefer the breakfast chimichanga from the cart by the Mark Twain over in that part of the park near. Right. Actually, it's right across from Big Thunder, but that one's less available. Breakfast Ronto wraps are available until a specific time. And
also, those who are going with us for first time, if you thought family reunions with T-shirts going through the parks is a thing, no.
So it'll be the racer, right? Everybody will be.
Yeah. So that day's so that day, if you do not buy the racer, I'm gonna ask that you wear the trip shirt.
That works.
For those who did not buy. But the fact is that, I mean, we had like a sea of racers walking through. That was just like awesome.
It was easy to find people, and you could spot, the little break-off groups really easily when you were wandering around. Like, hey, VCN.
Yeah.
And then you got the cast members being like, I just saw some of your group like 5 minutes ago come through here. Same shirt.
So what are you trying to say? We all look alike?
Pretty much.
Yes. Well, I think my most favorite part of that was when somebody came up to Truax. They were doing a scavenger hunt, and they needed somebody Star Wars to sign their thing. And they got Truax to sign it, and he's like, I'm much more of a Star Wars character than you know. Like, yeah,
undercover Star Wars character.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I'm so glad that him and Jen are making the trek out there.
Yes, but yeah, is on the Oga's menu for there's only the Batu bits and the Havapur sampler, which is the snack bits with
they don't have the
dip and cured and roasted meats, cheese, and pork cracklings.
Oh yeah, that charcuterie board is horrible.
Yeah. Both of those suck. They don't have the blossom pretzel thing.
Are you looking at East or West right now, Dave?
So that's what I was trying to figure out if they were different. So I'm looking.
Let me look at the app
first.
They should be different. We have stuff that I think East has never gotten. When it comes to food. But it changes up. But Docking Bay 7 has some good options as well. So if it comes to that, we can always do a mobile order from Oga's and go over to Docking Bay, pick up our food, and just eat right there. So
I'm nervous about jumping back into the Kyber Crystal game. I don't understand the new rules.
You have to.
The new rules? What do you mean in terms of what you might get?
Yeah.
Well, there's this whole fractured crystal thing where they're combined. Like there's a Ben Kenobi Kylo one that's like a blue and a red crystal combined. And there are black ones, as we saw in John's first video, which
John's
was
got
amazing.
multiple blacks already. Like,
Oh, you said something. I couldn't watch that other video where they were live.
oh, we got another black. So it's like
And you're like another black. I saw your post or your comment.
Well,
So now he's like the opposite of what he was. I guess they're more available now that they're doing this thing. I like those containers a lot. I don't have a
Clone Wars start with like an elevator fight. This whole show start with like people fighting in an elevator shaft.
It's possible. We got some of that in Bad Batch. It wasn't a fight. It was them escaping.
So let's see. Yes, snacks. There are more snacks out at West. You've got the Rythan crackers and Moss Moose. The Batu Wilds Bounty pastrami infused whipped cheese mustard seed spheres.
That's what you can try it. I'm not going to keep you from trying it. I just personally don't like it. I mean, it's not that it's horrible. It's just I would prefer it in a different form, like as an actual sandwich, and also the elements that are cold not to be cold. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
And then garlic cheese 5 blossom bread, spicy.
5 blossom. That's the best thing ever.
Iced Worcestershire pods.
Are those like edamame or something?
Yeah, edamame, seasoned edamame, sliced cucumber, spicy citrus.
I think I saw somebody had that, but I haven't tried it. I've never really eaten edamame. But the 5 blossom bread is amazing. If you like any kind of pretzel or bread, it's a pretzel knot with.
I had that when we went there with
yeah, it was new then.
Right.
It was a fairly new item at that point. Now it's been there for a while, and they got rid of one of the dips. But the Wild's Bounty, it's just weirdly, I don't like it. And then I haven't tried the Rythan crackers and moss mousse, wheat chip and avocado mousse, salsa lime air. See, they do weird stuff like that. They defuzzied the fuzzy tauntaun, where they made the
less fuzzy.
The foam is not as potent because people were weirding out about it. They'd tell them.
I thought it was amazing.
About it. You got if you inhale it, you're gonna get what you get. I was
told to lick the foam, so I licked the foam, and it expanded in my throat.
And there you go. You got the full sensation.
Why we can't have nice things.
And you were supposed to like it. Yeah, hear what you were saying earlier there, Dave.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's the Star Wars trope.
And the MCU trope. Hallway fights are huge.
Now, this whole thing is we don't see any of the armor like cult Mandos. Like every Mandalorian in the shows just pops their helmet off for
Oh yeah, there's no
any excuse.
Look at that.
Shoot him a lot.
Ray wants to know if it's a shaved tauntaun now.
It's less fuzzy. That's all.
Yeah,
it's still fuzzy. It's a manscaped tauntaun.
And now it's ruined.
I like the parallel there with Maul sitting up with his leg up to when we see Bo in her throne later on in Mandalorian.
But it's funny because it's almost like Jabba was slave Leia, like with Jesse's like the Leia. Never mind.
This is the fun. Jesse with the big Imperial cob.
I hate that tattoo.
Tattooed right on his forehead. It's like
he's the Mike Tyson equivalent of a clone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. He does give me Hunter vibes though too, because of that, off center kind of whatever. But I think they could have got away with more of a minimalist kind of version.
Right.
But that does give him Singular identity.
Indeed.
It's like poetry. It sucks. No, as Mark
It
McDonald would
sucks.
say.
There's so many Mandalorians. Let's go. Oh, the Clone Wars might be a children's show. This is not.
Mm.
And I can flat out tell you right now, the trip is not going to be a children's show. I'm telling you flat out right now. There's going to be more shenanigans involved on the trip than there is going to be. We're tame right now.
There will be times that are semi-children friendly, but
be family friendly parts of the show. Yep.
But there might be times when we might say earmuffs.
eye muffs.
Yeah. Eye
Yes,
muffs.
that's it.
Put up your blinders and your earmuffs.
I would say PG-13 or not kids not with are welcome with that with a paying adult kind of scenario, like radar.
Parental guidance suggested.
Yeah.
Oh, is this new at Oga's? Is the wine on tap? I don't remember them.
Yeah, well, they got some kind of. Don't they
Sarah
have like
was talking about that.
sangria?
Yeah, Sarah was talking about today the Alderon wine that she likes.
Is it Skywalker Vineyards or no?
I don't think
No.
so.
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. They have that at Scum. You can buy Skywalker Vineyards, buy the glass or the bottle, I believe, at Scum. So if you want to try it, that's the place to try it. That was the one
you can buy it at East by the launch bay. You can buy.
Yeah, we don't sell a lot of alcohol in Disneyland. We're lucky to have Oga's.
Yeah.
But Scum, you can get it. That was the one drink when they did their they had their anniversary of, what was it, earlier in the month or last month? I think it was the end of April. That was the one drink that wasn't on sale for the 7-year anniversary price of $7.77. You could get the $18 whiskey sour that was made with something high-end whiskey. I forget what it was, Buffalo Trace or something. And normally $18, you could get that for $7.77, but you couldn't get the Skywalker Vineyards.
Oh, because you're a classy broad.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Oh, and they do have. I don't know how long they're going to last, but they do have some of the drinks from the Star Cruiser here in Oga's.
So when I was cleaning my second best. I do.
Oh no! Now here comes the controversy. Okay.
I honestly think
so. What's first? Go.
It's probably. I would have to.
I'd say Battle of Mustafar. I think is the best lightsaber battle. I would say that probably Duel of Fates is second, and this is third.
Does he not like Duel of the Fates, or did he forget about one? Duel of Fates.
A lot of people wouldn't call. I mean,
that's a long battle, though. But also the one in Revenge of the Sith is freaking forever.
As I said, the Battle of Mustafar to me is, I think, the best lightsaber battle.
It's the best like capoeira lightsaber battle. It's the best this style.
A lot of twisty twists and jumping around for sure. Although we got started with that in Duel of the Fates.
Well, they'll say that Duel of Fates, you see Rey's doing a ridiculous amount of capoeira.
That's what I mean.
See, I think one of the best realistic lightsaber battles is Twin Suns.
It's so fast.
Yes, because that's the way that, you know, like if you look at Olympic foil fencing, or
Right.
it's
They get their
touch,
kill shot
touch,
in quick,
gotcha.
right?
Touch,
Yeah,
touch,
exactly.
gotcha.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh no.
that's
Oh, that
hilarious.
was rad. I love how that I forgot about that, where how he cuts the holes in the walls.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
his
it's
saber.
awesome. She just shoves through the hole.
Yep. Going after him. But I'm happy to see anybody fighting with a lightsaber in live action or animation. So
Yeah.
or in a freaking con. I don't care. As long as it's not $12 lightsaber. No.
There might be some on this time. Don't make anybody cry this trip.
I thought that was part of
That's
the
part of the
fun.
It's not a trip unless Jeff makes
Again, more stories of some idiot doing some dumb thing that affected somebody else in a way that they didn't expect. Yeah. Anyhow, there you go. That's a
This
good
isn't
one.
welcome.
No,
Come on.
you can have it. You just keep it on your belt.
So
I have a couple of those.
We talked about this en masse, but
Just don't pick them out in public.
where I love the fact is how Obi-Wan psyched out
This is amazing right here.
Maul in Twin Sons.
Oh
yeah. Well, it's funny because you see him, like you can tell his thought process, because he squares up one way and then changes up and then he's done.
It lights up.
Yeah, very well. That looks great in photos. Please don't ruin our photo with that. And when you see a sea of legacy sabers and Savi sabers that all look amazing, and then you come in with a weird plastic chunky blade.
We're going to put you at the back of this picture.
No, I'm gonna be front and center. Oh. I want to
No, I'm
get
saying,
closer to the camera than any was. Oh yeah, you get shuffled to the back if you have a crappy saber.
I
It'll
get
be
shuffled to the back anyway because I'm the tallest.
Yeah, that's true.
Battle of Heroes is number one. Is that Mustafar?
Yeah, that's the Battle of Heroes. And so episode 3, episode 1, and then this. Although Luke versus Vader in Cloud City is pretty badass. Although it's a lot slower because that's how they did things back then.
Well, yeah. I don't know. The Jedi were blind to a lot of things just for plot armor in most of the prequels.
Yeah.
Let me die. No.
Well, it's also a line, if you remember, with Mace says, it's like, there's no way the Sith could come back without us knowing about it. Bitch, no.
Wrong. I like this part. It's like, let's just get him with grappling hooks and stun his ass.
Yeah.
Mandalorians don't play.
That force move into the range of the grappling hooks weren't grappling hooks sort of implemented by the Mandos to be able to sort of thwart some of the movement that Jedi could do?
Yeah.
So it's fitting to capture him with that kind of same style of device. All right. Well, 2 down. These are some decent length ones too, with 24 minutes as opposed to 22.
No, it's awesome. And, Skip said many times, I've said this many times, it's, I think, some of the best Star Wars that we got in the Disney era. But also, I would say that the 4, cohesive, as much as I love Rebels, I would honestly put these 4 episodes together against the entire series of Rebels. As
all 4 seasons, yeah.
Ooh, them's big words.
Well, the thing is, I love Rebels. I love the arcs of Rebels, and I hold on high past them. But these 4 episodes are next worldly.
But see, you got to go with too. These 4 episodes have the benefit of coming after Rebels.
Right.
They had done so much more of the development of the animation and the process, and how much they had done the character work. They had all 6 seasons of Clone Wars, then Rebels, and that's where it got really crazy, and then back into this.
Right.
Yeah, this was a long time coming kind of thing. They were able to really build up to it.
So we have a ridiculously long guest list, which rivals any con you're gonna go to, really.
Big
Um,
This is our best guest.
Out of all the guests we're going to be seeing, let's start with you, Dave. Who are you looking forward to spending some time chatting with?
I have made no bones about that. I think creators in general is going to be my favorite. Just the behind the scenes stories and things that we don't know about that we can learn about chatting with those people. Of people I know well enough, I am so looking forward to talking with Hal Hickel. Is meeting him in person finally and finding those stories. But I want to find out so much of the other stories that I don't know from the rest of the people at creators. Is how do you get the initial impetus to like create this model? How much of that is given to you by someone else? How much of that do you get to come up with on your own? Is like, have you snuck in like little details in the inner workings of the Jedi starship? Is there like little Easter eggs that you've put in the model itself? That kind of thing. Those are the stories I want to hear. And that's going to be the big deal in San Francisco. But beyond that, I think the things that I really want to see are our friends from the show here. People that we've interviewed over and over again that, Jeff gets to see all the time because they live there. But that, the rest of us only get to see right here on the little screen and don't get to talk to Kevin and Leilani and Ariel and Chris Bartlett all the time. So I think those are going to be my favorite things.
Yeah, that sort of reminiscing thing. Yeah. Seeing a lot of people that we've interacted with that we haven't really seen in person will be cool for sure. But it's always fun just to hang out with people that are familiar with and have hung out with. So I'm sure Leilani will be trying to recruit me for any number of things that she'll be trying to do, at least at Scum.
Right. That's what she does. So I would probably say for me, that I'm actually really excited to spend some time with Katie O'Brien at Rhode Island Comic Con last year. But and Omid, I've only met him once, and he was absolutely incredible. Someone's asking a question. Do you like the expanded universe elements? I would say. What about you guys?
Oh yeah, the EU stuff. I like the way that the current creators are taking bits and pieces of the EU and bringing them back into what is now canon. The entire bringing in of Thrawn, that all of that was EU until it got brought back in Rebels.
This figure that you can barely see behind me in the blur, Dark Trooper was EU. It was from a video game, was from comic books, and then that got absorbed into the Filoni-verse because Dave Filoni knows his shit, and they updated it.
Black
What's
K.
that?
Black K.
Oh, Black K. Yeah, that's a very cool one as well. So the fact that they're picking some really cool stuff and using that, even though it's not necessarily considered any type of canon or whatever they're calling things that are just outside of that. It's it's fun to see those things pop up.
So yeah, I mean those are great. But like I said, Omid and Katie, I'm very excited about. Kate. Tate's a character in itself. Jeff spent some time with Tate as well. He's pretty funny.
He's a very personable guy. He was fun to kind of just bullshit with as well.
John Morton is incredible. I'm excited to see him. I'm actually also very excited for the stories that like John Goodson is going to tell. I think he's a wild card. I think that people are going to be,
Well, he's got a lot of familiarity with very important aspects of the model building through the whole saga, basically.
Right. Yeah. So Brewster is going to be a lunch stop on the way up. So Esteban's saying that he likes stuff from Dark Empire and Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, Shadows of the Empire has some really cool stuff. Prince Zizor was a kind of a weird one for me, but Thrawn, wasn't Thrawn part of that? I don't know. Anyways, Chewbacca is a bounty hunter with like a cybernetic eye or something. There's a lot of interesting stuff from that as well. Anyways, any of that stuff that they can, put into other properties, I think is really cool. That was actually one of the questions at Comic-Con Revolution during Richard and Sarah's Skywalker's Star Wars trivia panel that I had to get up.
They told me the fact that they asked name two of the actors that played like Luke Skywalker, and you dropped Aiden Barton.
It's fresh in my mind.
I was like, they're like, we were impressed. Like we completely forgot about that, and just like,
got that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was pulling a lot of stuff out of my ass that day, but one of the questions was something about the Shadows of the Empire, and I had to go up and whisper into the girl's ear that was the one at the podium for our team to get that one right.
Very funny.
Jeff is the ringer on the trivia.
Absolutely. Why don't we'll start with episode 11.
All right, let's get this going. Here we go. Lucasfilm Limited. It's so weird not seeing the awesome ornate version of the Lucasfilm logo also. The musical cues start to change. Shit's gonna go down.
Well, and the color of the logo changes.
Yeah.
Like, when you go to Sith or when you go to Jedi.
So some random video popped up about, it was Ben Burt talking about sound design. It made me think of that when those ships went by. A lot of the Separatists' droid vehicles had a kind of that sort of engine-y type sound that was created by using a electric razor in a metal salad bowl. I thought that was really cool because you got a lot of resonance. You had the metal elements, you had the vibrating, metal on metal, things that you wouldn't necessarily come up with nowadays because those like electric razor. Well, I guess they're still fairly prevalent, but
Right, but
a different thing.
see, I don't know that we see this side of Bo in the Mandalorian. It was just the like, oh, the regretting the war, and we at least we haven't yet.
Right.
Excuse me, Master Skywalker?
I do not grant you the rank of master.
I don't think so.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Die.
Did you see the thing, the meme somebody
Hey,
posted
yeah.
today as like a cover of the Revenge of the Younglings?
Yes.
Yeah, Lonnie put that in one of the chats. Yep. Poor Anakin, his worst enemy, sand.
Uh-oh.
Indeed. I love how they react to the door opening like they're in the room with them. But like we don't see their doors.
No.
We don't see their railings either.
Yeah, well, I guess they just know that they're not there.
And the biggest diss of Star Wars, Citizen.
General Skywalker. I love these parallels.
Yeah, that depends on the Chancellor. Chancellor ain't gonna let this war be over.
He loves it. He's the puppet master. Oh,
Master!
there you go.
Uh-huh. It's like, look, you got me out here fighting your war and you won't tell me your intelligence? Mm-hmm. Listen up, Yoda. Nope.
Keep that in her hip pocket for now.
You know, saying something. If you see something, say something. They ended something right there.
That's true. Directed by George Lucas or Dave Filoni.
Yep.
So who is this cohort?
Oh, the Mandos here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are any of these people we know from other things? Like you were saying?
I love Maul all Hannibal Lectered up.
Yeah, very much. That thing, it's got like carbonite vibes, but obviously it's a holding cell that's much bigger than that.
Whoopsie. Yeah. Sister outlawed those. I kept one in the back room. Just for such
just in case I needed to capture her boyfriend. Well, you just look at the ramp closing in front of them. Like, Are they still standing there looking at the closed ramp, or did they turn around finally?
They're still standing there.
No, I mean inside the ship.
Oh,
Because they just stand there and they let the thing close in front of them, and it's like, shouldn't they have started walking away by then already? All steaming things up.
Her spidey senses are tingling.
like, something's going on here.
Oh, yeah. Walk-up is unavailable. It's Thursday. Ooh, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, Troy, it's totally just ooh.
Yeah, the music really sells all of this.
Yeah, the Kleiners did an incredible job with this.
They are award winners for a
It
reason.
is. He absolutely is.
I need to get a good copy of that artwork on the front of that thing. Somebody got a loud mouse.
That probably me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not.
Click.
Click, 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 click.
Click, click, boom.
They kind of go hand in hand.
But I would say also, I think with all the people that we're meeting, I'm really excited about the experience that our members are going to have, thanks to everything we're doing. I mean, it really, a lot of love went into each thing that we did. So, seeing that come to fruition, and in any capacity, I mean, I remember, we were talking about London, and Dave, you had alluded to that, like, some of the best things that, you're excited for, of seeing the stuff that you worked on in the United States come to fruition in London.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to see what the experience is for others when they, see everything that we've been working on.
Have they retconned any Purgles into the peripheral of any of these hyperspace shots?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Filoni is special editioned anything.
Yeah. Look at that. Order 66.
Yeah. They worked that in somewhere.
I'm actually getting, when I have Dee and Ashley signing my helmet, I'm actually on one side of the helmet having Ashley write, "I'm one with the force is with me." And the other side having Dee write, "I'm one with the force is with me."
Nah.
To go after, like, the scene that's going.
Uh-oh.
He tripping.
Straight up. Troy, thank you very much. We all work very hard, and we work hard to make it pretty, because there are times that behind the scenes are not pretty.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make it as pretty as we can for you.
Yeah. When the Jedi closes the door.
Nobody else. Try to make it pretty for you.
love how swirly they've made the saber trails.
Now, have we seen? Yeah, it was in the earlier episodes of this season 7, right? That we saw all the training that Anakin had made her do. That was essentially this.
Oh, right, where he went out, he had her go up against him over and over and over
Yep.
again. And she had to, sense things and whatever.
Yeah, see, this is what we should have done to begin with. That's the only thing that they had that made sense. Execute them all.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yes.
Don't know if I want to say this online. We'll talk after.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody's getting a text.
Yeah, I think that's the my phone sitting here where it is vibrating with the
Oh yeah, you're bitching about my mouse.
Yes.
Click, click, buzz. Click, click, buzz.
Well, see, I have a place that I can put it that's like sound dampening, but oh no. The devil,
doing?
no, I don't know, man. Letting him loose. Oh, he knew about the Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I'm really excited. Like, we have a couple of things that we're working on that obviously will be announced during celebrating autographs. But we have something so incredibly unique as a photo op that will announce for the Scum signing. That is so cool. I'm excited that people are going to be able to take part in that.
Oh yeah, that will be fun.
Yeah, I just hope it comes out no worse for wear.
Yeah, there you go. Here. Go.
Cause some chaos. Go do mall things.
Let's all go to the mall.
Let's all. You gonna go see her in
real life always butts into
this.
Yeah. Real life always butts into the VCN.
Yes. Notman, what is going on?
What's with this? It's like on Tuesday, we talked about Mike, we talked about Mark, we talked about Skip, and they show up. We talked about Notman about an hour ago, and then Notman shows up.
He is here. I think the Clone Troopers even have better run cycles here than in the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch, they were,
Maybe they didn't track down the best versions. Who knows? I love the sound. It reminds me of an instrument that the Blue Man Group plays. It's made out of like PVC pipes.
Oh yeah, the like PVC xylophone or whatever.
Yeah, it's got that whole kind of bump, 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 bump kind of sound.
Yeah, it's the droid.
You know shit's going down if the droid's scared, or are they just happy to see her?
Oh, there'll be plenty of rum to happen, sir. What is your favorite version of Order 66?
Darth Jar Jar.
No.
That's going to be.
Where Ahmad starts Keller and Beck just starts kicking ass.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Saving Grogu.
You know, the funny thing about that scene is I've had multiple conversations with people, and they're like, well, do you want more stories of Keller and Beck? I'm like, no, because honestly, they made it so perfect that I didn't care about the next steps. The fact that Ahmed, Keller and Beck came in, was the one who saved Grogu, and then flew off in the Naboo starfighter. I was like, you know something? I don't need to see anything more. This
you don't. Cool. And we have enough backstory of Keller and Beck from the Jedi Temple Challenge. You know, is we've got Keller. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to leave some mystery in there somewhere. Would I like to see more Ahmad Best somewhere? Yes, absolutely. But let him be kick ass and move on.
But I would say, you know, I honestly, I would probably say if it was not that scene, I would probably say this Ahsoka stuff I really enjoyed tied into the whole Order 66 element.
The best part of Order 66 is the scene in the Padawan training room. Need an extended version of that. Chopping up little Jedis. You just swing through, just like flip. One or two might give them half a fight. Oh,
I had forgotten that Ahsoka contacts the Bad Batch here.
Right, they're in the graphic right under the timestamp, behind the timestamp, I should say. Oh, this is gnarly. Clunk. Lost a limb. Must be a Skywalker. Oh no, it's only a hand if you're a Skywalker. Must be an opponent of Obi-Wan. No, that's Maul. So there goes that idea. Well, the droids are out and about.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Bye.
Them sneaky droids.
Thank you for saying droids. No, seriously, because it just based upon the text message I just got, it just clicked something else into my mind of something that people really don't know that's cool.
Droids, they're cool.
Yeah.
I love this. It's like let's pull a gun on a droid.
Yeah. Scare that droid.
Kick-ass move on, David O'Neill.
Got some chopper vibes there.
Motto right there.
Motto. That could be your own personal shirt. Kick-ass move on.
Kick-ass and
move on. Dave's like, "Hen."
You write it down.
I love how they can just sort of prop up this Rex on top of two droids and then he's not falling off somehow. Start working on the doors. Either blast the controller to open it or blast it to close it. Shouldn't that work?
It usually does.
And shouldn't they have their own droids that they can get to reverse whatever these droids did? Take your plot holes elsewhere.
Exactly. It's like, you guys, shouldn't you be able to override a,
There's a classic Filoni use the action figure that he had to play with when his brother gave him the crappy stuff. I remember having that droid. His arms all come up.
Oh yeah.
And he had the one arm that came out and he spun.
Is it the medical droid or whatever?
Yeah, sort of, yeah. That's what he's doing right here, obviously.
Just take some time to do some, brain surgery while we're being chased.
Some invasive. This ain't no outpatient surgery.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I always half expect some little lizard dude to pop out the top of one of those tall droids, with the ones with the tall heads.
Are they on City Alpha 5? I'm waiting for a bug to come out.
This is CT Alpha 5. There's CD Alpha 6. It's CD Alpha 6.
Oh, there's your one with the force line.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I found it. It might be a little bit difficult to remove, like right
Yeah.
here. Right.
It's in the worst part of the brain to try to pull something out of. And so is Rex. Either way. Pew pew.
Got to have at least one saber backwards. That's the rule.
That's her stance is very much one backward saber. So
Navin knows what we're talking about. That's the funny thing.
See, exactly. You have seen more of that than you let on. Seal the door. Close the door. There you go. He's up. He's shooting guns. I'm
better now. I got a Band-Aid on my head and I'm good to go.
We're clones. We're all the same.
Complete and entire. Yes.
Uh-oh. Cutting through the doors.
Oh, and executive produced. Shattered. One more episode.
Yes. So it's exciting to see and hear and do what we do for the fans. And the fact that the groups like the 501st recognize what we do is not too dissimilar to what they do. And
yes, pause, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's. I said this at Anaheim when people were putting us in the same conversation like Ubuntu Eve with the Bash. Right. To me, there's no better compliment for our events that we're considered. People like to consider us on the level of the Bash. So it's nice. And it's nice the fact that also the numbers are growing so exponentially. What we're just shy of 68,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. Currently.
Oh, look at that.
Currently 67.
Yeah. Yep. 67.7.
Nice. Yeah, we executed order 66 real quick and then jumped to 67.
Boom.
Yeah, all the other ones died pretty quickly and moved on.
Yes.
The way that goes.
So let's talk about this as we talk about it, because I love talking about the group and also seeing, where we've been. Like, Jeff, you've been pretty much around since the beginning of the group. What has, you came in halfway while we're in the building period, but you were around since pretty much day one. But you've also been around since day one for Celebration as well. I mean, what has kept you around the group for this?
I think for the most part, it was the sort of the way that information was passed on very quickly and very concisely, both about things, Celebration specific or related to or whatever. Because I probably had joined 3 or 4 different celebration groups that I have no connection with to anymore besides this one. See posts from 1 or 2 others on occasion when some like hyper activity is going on around, involving celebration, like, tickets or the actual celebration. I don't even remember if I saw posts from other groups about tickets last month or earlier this month when it was. So yeah, it's a lot to do with being able to be informed as much as anything else when I was hanging out and just trying to glean information from the group about whatever was coming up or happening at that moment, celebration wise.
Yeah. And then just besides celebration, I mean, just the friendships you've made, and you have a Disney group based upon people from this group.
Yep.
You guys like bound together, and in similar outfits, same out.
Yeah, I was just considering what I might try to wear to the Acolyte screening. Mike's like, we should wear our Batu. I'm like, no, I'm not wearing that hat.
I'm taking your advice. I actually was thinking about it. I was trying to think of what I was going to do. I'm probably going to wear my my Dark Side baseball jersey.
Yeah. That's actually what my main plan was, but well, those were way off. I didn't realize that. Oh no, it's way off. Because it's one that I don't wear a lot, and it's nice and thin. I like that, and we got some Dark Side flavor in the Acolyte, so it'd be appropriate. It's distinctive like the rest of them, not quite as distinctive as most of the racers, but
So John says one of his fondest memories was just telling me on social media that he knew how I was and recommended as a Star Wars fan. I think he's speaking pirate.
I think a little bit in there.
Or he found the rum.
He might have found the rum.
Troy's asking about my hat. That's it says Black Spire Outpost on it right here. So it's a Batuan citizen hat. It's very similar, but a little different to what the actual cast members wear on Batu. So if you've noticed every once in a while in the group, if Mike, myself, John, and now we've recruited poor Kareen.
No, you didn't make Kareen buy a hat, did you? Did Kareen buy a hat?
She got the whole 9 yards. She was the wise one and opted to wear her Ewok mouse ears instead.
Yeah. When
the rest of us walked around with the hat on. But that's the outfit. That with the I have my ponchos in the car. The Endor poncho was enough of us walking as a group through the park to raise concern from other cast members that we may be new cast members who happen to be stationed on Batu and we're out of our area in the wrong cast member attire. So we literally got approached by this I forget her name. She was very nice. She walked up and she's like, oh. And she's like, I was going to tell you guys, I thought you were cast members. I was going to say you shouldn't be out of your zone or whatever, and like your costumes. And then she realized, like, after she got close to us that like our footwear wasn't correct and maybe our, pants were off a little bit from what they would wear.
Incognito.
Yeah. So that was fun. I think we ended up getting a photo with her just because she was so funny.
Cool.
Y'all are going to get kicked out.
We'll always start the final episode.
Yes, right. Sir. Where are we at? Okay. Bloop. So, Notman, this is the newer version of the Endor poncho that we got. Anyways, here goes the countdown. More imposing musical cues.
Yes, there is. And this is all like choral singing, like monks chanting.
Victory and death. That's a crazy destroyer of. So what are they cutting through with?
I don't know. I can't really tell. It looked like the blasters, but I was like, "What?"
No, it's like it looks like a welder torch kind of thing, welding torch.
Well, I don't know if I believe that.
So Dave, so you came in obviously during COVID as a recommendation from a colleague of yours. What has how's the experience been for you from where we were then to now, and what's kept you around?
Oh, it's crazy. There's something new and different in here like every day. It is the stuff about finding the information. So many of the things I would have never known about other than people here is, certain people give more information than I want when there's like, Funkos and randomness on sale that I really don't need, but damn it, it comes across my feed every day. Yeah,
Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce. Okay. Uh-huh.
That's one of the things I remember was seeing posts about other events as well. Like, they had a thing that was like a ceremony for Carrie after she passed in Orlando, and it was like the gathering of the Leahs or something like that. And they had all these cosplayers in different states of Princess Leia, and also like there was food and drink, and they had cupcakes that had the picture of her with the word rebel on it. That was fun. But like things like that, little extracurricular things. Obviously the Bunta Eves, which were called something else back then.
Yeah, but you came to us because of swag. That was the only reason you came over.
Well, I wanted those pins, and that was the main reason I went to that event. It wasn't to sing.
What pins did you want? What?
The Max Rebo pin. That was our first ever piece of swag.
Oh.
The enamel pin. It was Max Rebo and one other one. What's the other one?
Well, we only had one. We only had
Spice Noodles or something. I thought there was a second one for the next night, the next show. But
Dave, you're saying just the information and.
But yeah, it's the information and it's the people. It's just super fun. Is being able to hang out, whether it's just on the computer or when we do get together at cons and in person and whatnot, is just having a group of like-minded people it was rare for me in this neighborhood and where it was is I've got a few Star Wars friends around here, but in general, like I am the Star Wars go-to person and people are just asking me the questions, and where within the group, there are lots of other people that I can go to and ask questions. And sometimes it's even really cool that, within the group now, bigger and expanded into Bunta Eves, you can go directly to the source and ask a question. Like what was it? We had a question the one time, which I don't think we've gotten an answer to yet. And I'm going to have to get this at Bunta Eve. Like was the Rodian pilot that Dawn played a male or a female Rodian?
Right.
Well, she was going to ask Filoni about that. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, where else am I going to get at least the third-hand access to ask Filoni this question?
Well, sometimes people run across them.
Okay,
in the wild.
Yeah, I know.
And then don't ask him real questions, just sort of babble.
No, but you
It's like a
you did
Obi-Wan
the thing
move.
because you made him quasi aware of me. And that
true.
counts more.
Yeah, there you go. At least for
know,
you.
You're 100% right, because even when I took my sabbatical, what brought me back was the fandom, was really the members of the group.
I remember being
exactly
very
our
disappointed that you had made that statement that you were going to disconnect yourself from the whole thing.
There you go, Sherry.
And you know something? It really it was like cutting a piece of myself off at that time. And then, honestly, like John just said, people learning something new every day. I'm still learning so many new tricks to the trade that I didn't think of, like, you know, when I first started doing like the news desks for like 2019. That's when they started. That it's just helping other people. And what I love also is the fact that members are now giving suggestions. Well, you know, from stuff that we've talked about or their own suggestions. And it's like we get to guide them, but they are the ones who are giving the information. It's not just us. We're just facilitating the wholesome environment for them to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like most of all about it. And, you know, and I can't imagine, you know, having stepped away and come back and having the, you know, explosion after I came back, you know, the group, my life without the group. Honestly, it's so ingrained in who I am now. And I appreciate that of every one of them. And honestly, I have normie friends.
Sure you do.
But honestly, I spend
that's another one.
time chatting with all of you on the daily, and they might be closer. I still talk to you guys more than I talk to them. Like, I'm purposely going to an event this weekend. They're like, "Why, Spencer, you're gonna show up?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm coming. There's no con. I don't have to do any family things and no group stuff. I will be there."
Right.
And it's rare that I do that anymore because I'm always loving this group and remember what we can do to make this group better for the fandom. Not just Celebration, the fandom, because that makes Celebration better. So going with the group, Jeff, was that something that not forced you, but enticed you to pull the trigger on even going to Japan? Because you were very much like, I only go to US. I don't like, you know, I need to spend more time.
I said this before, if I had known they were going to do a 23-24 back-to-back international celebrations, I might have opted for London instead. But it's sort of more like a fix thing at this point. So it's like every few years I need to have a celebration, and it's it's going to be 3 years by the time you know, Japan rolls around. There was 2-year gap in between last year's London and next year's Japan. So, you know, not having been to a celebration in so long is really the reason that I wanted to do it. Also, it's not all about just the domestic ones. It's convenience and whatever. So, you know, the fact that I have been to all the domestic ones is mainly because they're domestic. But I would have probably gone to some other international ones if they were spaced differently, maybe. I think a lot of them were the next year after a domestic one, and I was like, so.
Would you say that, you know, the fact that you had those, like a whole group of the core were going to be there, so you would...
Well, that too. There's going to be a lot of other things incorporated into that, so again, that's sort of the family vacation thing of be hanging out with cool people that I know both from this group and elsewhere that will be there. That's crazy. So all that interaction is a plus, and will make that experience that much better, I think. That's a massive hangar.
Crazy fighting now. Uh-oh. Maul's been just like sneaking around in the background, and here he comes.
He's got stuff to do. So why don't they use Force Run or Jedi Fast Run or whatever?
Exactly.
Ever. Like hardly. I mean, you saw it in...
Somebody forgot to keep training people how to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, so my brother Sterling is a child of the prequels, and he went back and did a rewatch with his wife, and he's like, wow, the Jedi powers and the choreography was so much better in the prequels. And I'm like, well, they got old. That's all I could say. They couldn't do those moves anymore.
Of course, yeah. Well, between episode 1 and episode 4, you'd have quite a difference in terms of the physicality of...
I mean, Vader had a handicap. Obi-Wan was just old.
Old and out of practice.
October. So it's October, July 29th to August 2nd. Oh, I'm right.
The week of July 29th.
I had a meeting this afternoon already from Nashville, so that's why October is stuck in my head.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Man, I think having the celebration in Japan thing will give me a different kind of feel for the whole con itself. Jug to Ugg.
Yeah. Different memories. I mean, you hear about the Pirate Tour of London, which was, incredible in itself, but also the stories of all of us at the VIP after party for Cantina 2. Like, those things would not have happened in the United States celebration.
That boat tour might have been more fun.
That boat tour. I mean, I don't want to trash the group, but it was false advertising. And
that's not cool.
That was not cool.
Look at that.
They said second boat would have had the same stuff as boat 1, and it didn't. So now, if there was a virtual Cantina boat party
on a boat,
what made it fun was our people. Like our boat, half the boat was.
Well, yeah, you guys made the best of it, basically.
Right.
I like that move she just did with cutting the hole in the floor and dropping down. Very reminiscent of the show.
Troy, I'm going to send you.
I love how they're all the. Oh no, not the droids, not the droids.
That choppery one, and then you get the R2 scream.
And you guys
Troy, are still, a message.
Worried about blasting the people while the ship is going down. People, should you not be doing something else?
What about the droid attack on Kashyyyk?
There you go.
Notman brought the food but the thing was, like I said, having the pirate there and doing the pirate tour, and then we were down the boat and not pointing out buildings and the bridge from Harry Potter 6 from the beginning of the movie, while we're going underneath it, and
going
with other people, like going by myself would have been fine, obviously because you guys know the story about me in London. But going and being at the same hotel and going to the Harry Potter, sets, and just was different level to what we already have. Like, we're traveling with family, and I think that's what really but John's question for you.
I wish there was more than just Peridia. In terms of actual location scenes, I really like the holograms, all three of them, especially Grogu and Mando, especially Grogu, and especially that, his whole interaction. The first time we rode the update, when they dropped it, we were dead center front row, and that specific hologram was amazing from that perspective. But they still mix in other things, like I was saying, getting the pod race I'm very much fine with, and then I really like some of the other sequences like Hoth and Kashyyyk, not so much, but the sequel stuff I'm not as big a fan of if we end up with that. The only thing I wish they would do more consistently is have you land on Batuu, but that's neither here nor there. But the whole Purgle scene I enjoy, flying around, almost getting eaten by a Purgle, which doesn't seem like it would be such a bad thing. You just go in their mouth and they fly somewhere. Battling Shin Hati to the point where she's damaged but not dead, because you can't kill her in the ride if you haven't seen the movie yet or the TV show yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, it's I wish they would just incorporate more of Mando and Andor into the location scenes. Anyways, this is amazing end of this episode.
But it's so sad on so many levels, because they just spent all of this time to not kill all of those clones for them to go down in a ball of fire on the ship.
Sort of
like, this would have made it so much easier if we just shot them.
Yeah. And Notman's back to the Star Tours saying that he tends to get Hoth and then the Purgles. I've gotten that good portion of my recent rides, and not Ahsoka transmission definitely, but yeah, you can tell. It seemed, depending on what pre-scenes you got, as to what hologram you would get. Also, yeah, in the hangar at the very beginning, you can see the J6 or whatever Ahsoka's ship is, and you can see the ghost in some of the scenes. And if you get both of them, it's one. If you get one of them, it's something else. And if you get the Falcon, it's another one. So there's a lot of little things that they incorporated there. This is amazing, this scene right here. All this helmets.
Between this and the juxtaposition of the next scene.
Right. Quit babbling about unrelated things and watch the end of this.
Well, we're very excited. We're very excited to spend time with the pirate. It's always a good time with the pirate. Especially when we go on pirates. Right, Dave?
Oh, yeah. Pirates with the pirate is the best.
Gonna make him drink the water.
You and John were singing the entire ride. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
Completely, totally, we were doing that. And my children were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it."
John chasing Jack Sparrow at the Christmas party was pretty funny.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna have to get up with you, Notman, because I'm gonna be down there. Yeah, Sherry, this is a super emotional one. Like you said, in much of Star Wars, there's still just this,
So what do you think it is? That he feels the Kyber crystal?
Or the whole thing that went down gives him some sort of vibe. with her involvement. Who knows? This is so like painterly. It's a trip, but it's still got the
Yeah.
the 3D.
I mean, it's almost like it's almost like a matte painting behind
right.
the animation.
And the Mariah being there.
Mm. How did that helmet get that covered and her saber just barely be covered?
Yeah, right.
He didn't dig very deep to pull it out. Should have went at least.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen in the Rey movie when the sand is barely covering the Skywalker twins?
Well, she'll use a Jedi shovel and she'll be good to go.
Yes. To dig.
There you go.
Anyway, still incredible. Love it every time we watch it. Jeff,
look at
thoughts?
That shot with Vader's reflection in the helmet just takes me back to, like, was it Christian Wagner that does those art pieces? It's amazing. But yes, it's an incredible season and an incredible arc that they ended on. It's a great way to come back to the show that had sort of just stopped at one point.
Dave.
But good stuff.
These episodes, like, wow, still.
Oh yeah, these episodes are always just wow. They're not ones that like get old. Is you can watch these over and over again, and it still has the power. And even if we're just talking and yapping and catching occasional glimpses of what's going on, it's still
there's some extremely iconic elements that stand out for sure.
So obviously next week is very much heavy, starting with Acolyte stuff, and I know Jeff and I will be at the fan showings. If you're at any fan showing in the country, please, if you have a VC shirt, wear a VC shirt, take pictures, post that you're going to be there. Hopefully you run into members. I mean, that's the thing I love, is that when you run into members in the wild. Keep us spreading the love to VCN. That's what we do. We do that because we want to increase our brand, but also show our colors. It's always a great thing. But Dave, there's so much goodness Acolyte related starting this week about VCN. What's going on?
I mean, so much is starting even before then. On Sunday, we've got 3 years of Jedi Archives. And those guys are going to be talking about like the best of the 3 years. And I'm sure some of the things that are going to tie in, because they always talk about the High Republic and the High Republic comics, and Vernestra Rowe, we know, is going to tie in to the Acolyte, amongst potential other things. We don't know what else is coming from High Republic to the Acolyte. We are starting with that. We've got Acolyte Eve on Monday, where they're going to just speculate, throw out theories, talk about what could happen. And then Tuesday, boom, the Acolyte drops right there. We've got Happy Hour going on too. And I cannot imagine that in the Happy Hour that we are not going to be discussing what's going on.
I think that entire Happy Hour is just going to be talking about what we think is going to happen on the show when it drops at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, most likely.
So Happy Hour, I am betting on Tuesday. Happy Hour is going to be a show up for Happy Hour, talk about it, go
leave
away,
for the show,
camera off for like a couple hours, and then everybody's going to like come back.
Oh yeah, it is going to be a couple hours because there's 2 episodes.
Because it'll be 2 episodes, so it'll be a little while. But I'm thinking we'll be right back. But then later in the week we're gonna have, we've got a watch along. We've got the Acolyte after show is going to happen, where they'll Bryce, John, and Mike are going to do a deep dive on what actually did occur and then they can really tell you the deep connections and like, oh, well, this is what that thing meant that you didn't know what meant. This is where it tied into somewhere else.
Yeah, any kind of obscure connections will be fleshed out by those guys for sure.
And they're tops. I put their deep dives up against some of the best ones that are out there. And Mike's love is unparalleled to maybe even Jamie of the High Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Is I like Mike and Jamie in a High Republic off would be just something.
And as MVO was saying to me today, that show that High Republic is not going anywhere anytime soon. So
no, I think it's only going to get delved into more deeply. You know what I mean?
And considering Acolyte is somewhat in that time frame, or is it just after it? Anyways, the connection there will draw more people into
the High Republic itself is a little bit varied. It is roughly 200 years before the prequels. The Acolyte is
100.
like 100 years before the prequels. But you have some long-lived characters that are going
bridging the gap
and go through. But the High Republic also has like 3 phases, and it's got phase 1, which is 200 years before, and then phase 2 is even before that because they go back further and explain some things and where it came from, and then they come back. So,
but the Sith have not been seen in a millennium.
Yeah, it's exaggeration.
And we gotta that's why we want to really see what it is. And here's my prediction and my bet is I haven't heard in a lot of the previews, and I haven't heard them use the word Sith. It's Dark Jedi. They use the word Dark Jedi a lot. And if you want to check out some of that and like think about your history of the Sith and where they came from, if you check out last week's episode of the Unifying Force, that's all we talked about. Is like, where did the Rule of Two came from? Where did the Sith actually come from? Where is the home world? What happened? How did that group come about? We went way back, which allegedly we might get in some more of in one of the movies that was alleged, the Dawn of the Jedi movie, alleged.
So, do you really think the real word when they originally thought of it was Sith, but they had somebody like Mike Tyson say sit and they said Sith?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the Sith were an ancient race of people from a planet, and
Anyway, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you much for joining us this late. Very excited about it. Don't forget, next week we will be watching Acolyte Part 1 and 2. Also, if you are interested in getting tickets, yes, no spoiler, I did open up 20 more tickets for those who might want to potentially join the group.
Should be a question mark.
Troy.
But
yes,
I'm
Troy.
We'll put them after the weekend.
Come out to the coast. We'll have some laughs.
Dave, you should wear that one shirt too.
We'll go by the Lego store at downtown Disney.
Yes. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans, but we hope you all will join us for that. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and catch us on the flip. But for Jeff, from Dave and I, may the force be with you.
Always.
This is still the May.
Oh, it is. We've got a couple more days.